Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's your boy, Just Cooks in the building. First and foremost, I want to thank you guys. We hit 600 subs. I appreciate you boys and girls and non-binaries that subscribed. Today we're going to talk political shit. I'm not going to lie. I turned 25 recently. In 25 and 25, and the last couple of days I've just been thinking about the state that I'm in, the path that I'm going to take, the state of America, all this nonsense, bullshit that you get when you're 25, no job, and you're home alone meditating. Bah! And I saw Flagrant, shout out Flagrant, they had Bernie Sanders on. I really like Bernie, I like what he stands for, and I watched the interview, and he has some talking points that I would like to share, just some things to put in the algorithm. Like early on, he started talking about how, well, you know what? I'll just let Bernie say it.
60% of people live paycheck to paycheck.
Yep.
Got it? I grew up in a family that lived paycheck to paycheck. All right? Where paycheck to paycheck is living under enormous stress. How am I going to pay the rent? What happens if my landlord raises my rent? What happens if my kid gets sick and I can't afford to take him to the doctor? What happens if my car breaks down? You know that significant numbers of people in this country, you have money, you don't think about it. But if you don't have any money and your car breaks down,
it's over.
And it's $1,000 bill to get it fixed,
Yep.
and you can't afford it, you tell me what happens.
Yep.
All right. Bottom line is you got millions of people, working class people, lower income people, struggling to put food on the table. Okay? That is the first profound reality.
Now, he says 60%. Chances are you're part of that 60%. I know I am part of the 60%. But he said, how did we get here? He further on in the interview, he does explain how we get here. So we're going to play that next clip here for you guys.
Over the last 52 years, I may be off a little bit here, but more or less I'm right. Over the last 52 years, there's been an explosion in technology, right?
Mm-hmm.
This stuff that we're looking at did not exist. Mm-hmm. Every worker in America is more productive, correct?
Absolutely. Correct.
Okay, computers, etc. How much have real inflation accounted for wages increased in that 52-year time? Obviously, with all of that worker productivity increasing,
nothing.
We must be making a lot more money, right?
Nothing.
0%.
Zero.
Yeah.
In fact, there's an argument it's a little bit less in real housing costs, healthcare costs.
Because TVs are cheaper, you think that you're living a more luxurious lifestyle.
But take a deep breath about that fact.
Yeah.
What does it say? Meanwhile, during that same period of time, there was a massive, according to Rand Corporation, not a socialist organization, there was a massive transfer of wealth from the bottom 90% to the top 1%.
But Bernie, surely they're paying taxes on all that new profits they're making, right?
Right.
And surely
right. But that is getting back to this important issue, which I kind of started, what is reality? So if you're the average worker out there,
Yes, sir.
you're seeing people on the top getting phenomenally rich, you're no better off. And by the way, the likelihood is your kid is going to be worse off than you are, right?
Yeah.
That's a tough reality.
So basically, he's saying in the last 52 years, like we all know, we had computers, we got machines now, right? Output production is through the roof, right? So let me take you back in time. 52 years. What's 52 years ago? Let's say it's 70? Okay, 1975. 73, 52 years. 1973. Say it's 1973. You working in a warehouse, right? Let's put this simple terms. Output you have as a worker in a warehouse. Let's say you do 10 boxes in 10 hours, 1 box per hour in a warehouse in the 1970s, right? Fast forward 2025, nigga, we got AI. Nigga, we got machines, we got robots, arms, we got conveyors. Nigga, we got, oh my God, computadoras, computers, Excel, nigga. Nigga, we got ChatGPT in 2025. So, the average worker output in 10 hours is 10,000, right? So, right, in 1973, 10 cases. 2025, 10,000. Now, guess what, right? With inflation adjusted, we're being paid the same, bro. We're being paid the same, bro. Bro, my grandpa output was 10 boxes in 1970. Right now, I could do 10,000 the same amount of time. With inflation, we're getting paid the same, bro. The same, bro. Bro, like, I'm so passionate about this. Like, bro, so that means, right? So where's all the money going? Where's all the money going? Guess where it's going? To Bezos, so he could take his girlfriend to space. Now, when you have all that dread, right, you might think, wait a minute, like, that's fucked up, right? Shouldn't politicians at least try to help the regular people so we don't get fucked, and then the same 10 people who are millionaires continue to be billionaires, and then trillionaires, and the billionaire, then with billionaire? Like, who's out here for us? What happens? Why does my vote not matter? And this is why.
Ostensibly, there hasn't been a fair primary for the Democrats since 2008. Are they not also a threat to democracy? Yes. We often hear...
Fair enough. That is, yeah, I'm not going to argue with that point. And that's why I'm proudly an independent. What we're trying to do now, and I will just reinforce the point both of you made. The hatred that we felt in 2016, 2020 from the Democratic establishment. I'll give you an example. We would do rallies and we have thousands of people, often young people of color coming out, working class people coming out. They were great, full of energy. Yeah. And then we go to Democratic Party events. And there'd be a few hundred people, mostly older, whiter, wealthier. And you saw the clash. And the establishment did not want to open the door. They hated the idea that all these people whose hands were a little bit dirty, who didn't have PhDs or weren't wealthy, imagine walking in, it's my party, man. You ain't getting in.
Yes.
We will fight you in the most ruthless ways that we can. And that's the struggle. Are they going to open the door, or are they prepared to lose elections, literally, and maintain
the status quo?
Go down with the Titanic. So
that is the Democratic Party for the last couple of years. That's why motherfuckers vote for Trump, bro. Like, people get mad that people voted for Trump, but then the last motherfuckers, when we, like, the nigga we wanted was Bernie, but then they put in Hillary. You know, a mí mierda, bro. Like, what's happening? And now, that is why we're in this state that we are today. And, you know, I just wanted to share that with you guys because, you know, just put it in the algorithm. Just put it out there so more people can hear it, bro. Because I'm not going to lie, bro. I'm tired of the same bullshit of working class citizens working for nothing, bro. For literal nothing, bro. I'm getting ahead of myself. Now, when you hear that, right, you really think, wow, there's really nothing I could do. Because then when my vote doesn't matter, you know what I'm saying? That it doesn't matter. Like, nothing I could do matters, and you're just stuck. You're literally stuck in this state of dread because no one's there to help you. And I'm not gonna lie, I feel that kind of right now. But shout out to Bernie, because this is what Bernie said to end the podcast, and this is why I love Bernie.
How can people who feel like your message has really resonated with them today help? Help you, help the cause.
Yeah, look, we are trying to do something which is very, very difficult. And I think we're having some success, and we've had some success, is, you know, come to our social media. You know, we have a Senate page and we have a campaign page, more political. We are supporting and will be supporting more progressive candidates running for Congress, Senate, and so forth. And I will tell you, think outside of the box in your own lives. These are unprecedented times, and we've got to respond in an unprecedented way. And you think, and each and every one of us is different. You don't want to run for office, fine. What else can you be doing? Help people form a union. Become involved in education in a way you did not be involved before. You think it through. But we need more participation. We don't need what the system really, and this I've experienced, I've seen it a million times. What the oligarchs and the ruling class want you to believe is that you're powerless. You have no power. And once you accept that, they win. They win. We have power. We're a lot more. The joy that I've had in my life is to be in every state in this country and talk to, I've been in rallies where you see these wonderful people, often young people. They're black and they're white and they're Latino and they're gay and they're straight and they're out there and they want a different America. And that's what inspires me. I've seen it with my own eyes. They're out there. They don't believe in greed and they don't believe in, so many of the things that we're seeing right now. Those people got to stand up. You got to come to the plate. And we got to do what we can to transform the country. Time is late. We're dealing with authoritarianism. We're dealing with climate. So let's get involved in ways that we've never been involved before.
Senator Bernie Sanders, thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thank you.
Shout out to Bernie. Shout out to Flagrant. They had, I cannot recommend this interview enough, bro. If you're like me, bro, and you're tired of the bullshit, bro, you're tired and you just want something to change, bro. You just need some change in your life. Bernie gives me hope. And me putting this out there, hopefully someone smarter than me, one of you 600, or maybe someone sees this and they also get hope in that. Fuck you.